Welcome to another Montana motorcycling adventure. Brought to you by All Moto Tire, Northwest Montana's best source for your motorcycle tire needs. On the second day of our Beartooth adventure, we'll be traveling from Dillon, Montana to Red Lodge, Montana, over mixed road surfaces. We'll cover the farm and cattle countryside via Blacktail Road, up over the north side of Henry's Lake, into West Yellowstone, and over to our Red Lodge accommodations for a 2-night stay. Okay, second day of the trip. Getting ready to gas up here. Got a long way to go, almost 300 miles. Destination, Red Lodge, Montana. With the amount of gravel we had to cover, indeed it would be a long day. The sun was doing its best to shine through the thick wildfire smoke, but we'd have many more miles to go before we'd see any clearing whatsoever. Although I have to credit Dan and John for supplying route suggestions, I was the guy that put the tracks together, not having traveled most of the roads we'd cover. Due to traffic when we left town, I broke out in front, thinking my planning was tip-top. I'd purchased a brand new Garmin XT2 GPS with features that were new to me. Couple that with a good deal of unfamiliar roads, and there was certainly room for error. The farther down the gravel road I traveled, the less sure I was about getting onto our planned Blacktail Road route.
Well, apparently the guys went a different way and led them on private property. And Dan is saying, yes, indeed, this is the road we want. We shall see about that.
At one point, I stopped alongside the road to have a look at my turn-by-turn directions for this leg. Not finding what I needed, I decided to turn around and try to find the guys. Then, there they were, heading in my direction. Note to self, next time, bring the paper maps. Later, John would tell me that we could have joined up with Blacktail Road much sooner, just south of town. Oh well, at least we were all grouped up and on the right track now. Scattered throughout the terrain, relics of bygone days stand in silent testament to a forgotten age. Like this old homestead. Smoky skies aside, it felt good to be out away from civilization, anticipating what might be over the next rise or around the next bend. I guess my riding compatriots took pity on me and let me lead for a while.
I guess I get to leave here for a little while. Here I go.
I took the opportunity to ride in a little less dust and also dial it up a bit. Fun. Time to slow it down a bit, rolling through the headquarters of the Red Rock National Wildlife Refuge. Located in Lima, Montana, this refuge is a 53,000-acre parcel of land that acts as a corridor for waterfowl and wildlife migrating to and from areas of Idaho and Montana. Keeping with a minimalist approach to maintaining the natural environment, motorized travel is very limited. There are but 2 primitive campgrounds and 2 easy-rated hiking trails.
These old buildings are long past their prime. It's pretty cool to see.
Clearing skies made for a very nice ride through the valley. We headed up around the north side of Henry's Lake to eventually connect with Highway 87. Then it was Highway 20 for the push into West Yellowstone. No doubt traveling through this area in September with fewer people and less traffic made this iconic park a little more enjoyable.
Hello. Yes, it is. Nobody else can be.
I guess I must have been convincing enough because the ranger on duty didn't require me to remove my helmet or show my driver's license to prove it was really me. All successfully through the gate, we were free monkeys, as my neighbor Dennis likes to say. Beartooth was still a fair distance, but we were homing in on it. Pausing briefly beside the Madison River, we ate lunch, watched a gentleman fly fishing, and contemplated how glad we were to be out of the smoke and enjoying such a marvelous fall day. Something was slowing traffic up ahead. A lazy bison grazing beside the road. I can just imagine what the beast might be thinking. And so we did. By now, we were looking at puffy clouds and a blue sky. A welcome change from the smoke. Then, there it was. A motorcyclist's dream of a twisty road carving its way through a stunningly beautiful landscape. And tomorrow, on our way to Cody, Wyoming, we'd traverse this path in the opposite direction. magnificent. Having put in 300 or so miles over mixed terrain, I for one was a little tired, but still in awe of the route that we'd just ridden. Another bucket list road in the books. Late in the afternoon, we checked into the Beartooth Hideaway Inn and set about finding the local brew pub. Somebody decided we should walk the 2 miles to Sam's Tap Room and Kitchen, and we did, but only for a beer. Dan suggested we dine at a restaurant called the Prerogative Kitchen. He'd also spoken with the hotel clerk and gotten a line on an Uber that would take us from the pub to the restaurant. With a call to Patty, we drank our beer and waited for her arrival. Patty rolled up, driving a sketchy looking, beat up old sedan with obvious front end damage and a broken windshield. We piled in, and once underway, the clunky shuddering emanating from somewhere in the drivetrain gave me pause to wonder if we'd even make it to our destination. We'd ride with Patty 2 nights in a row, learning all about her school days in Red Lodge and the reasons for her transitioning from the national Uber like business to now being an independent, providing local transportation to travelers like us. Dan was familiar with the Prerogative Kitchen restaurant through our mutual friend Louie, who's now the head chef at Flathead Brewing Company in Big Fork. Louie attended culinary school and worked at a Big Fork restaurant with Prerogative Kitchen sous chef Kurt Zygmunt. Prerogative Kitchen owners Danny Mowat and Chris Lockhart have garnered at least 2 James Beard nominations. I thought the food at the Prerogative was great. When I return to Red Lodge, I'll certainly dine here again. The following day, we'd cover Beartooth Pass in the opposite direction. We'd also ride another spectacular route, the Chief Joseph Highway, to Cody, Wyoming, and back to Red Lodge. It was time to rest up and prepare for more adventure. Stay tuned. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, how about subscribing to the channel?